Try this. Good question. When 26 is divided by a positive integer n, the remainder is 2. Wonderful. One of my favorite questions, because this takes you through a beautiful funda with the very nature of divisor, dividend, remainder, quotient, all of that. And it's a beautiful question. 26 is divided by a positive integer n, the remainder is 2. So 26 is divided by n, there is some quotient, something comes here, in the end the remainder is 2. Remainder by definition is linked to what remains. We divide 26 by n and we say, look, how many times can n go and sit inside 26? And then it sits a certain number of times, then something is remaining. Whatever is remaining is remainder. How many times does 26 sit inside n? It sits inside n quotient times. Or the other way of thinking about it, into 26, I put n quotient number of times. Right? So it might add up to something, but something still remains. It is not going completely inside. What remains is called the remainder. Lovely. So this is the very definition of the idea of reminders. Write it down somewhere. Write it down on a big sheet of white paper. Stick it in your room where you study. Write it down in your math notebook. Very crucial thing. It's a fundamental property that's going to chase you throughout. Any number is a divisor into quotient plus remainder. You divide 26 by n, you get remainder of r, quotient of q. 26 is n into q plus r. Right? Now the remainder is 2. What does that mean logically? I divide 26 by n, 2 remains, or this n goes some number of times to account for 24. 2 remains from 26. You remove this 2, 24 can be accounted for. Or n into q is 24. Lovely. If this question says the sum of all possible values of n is, that means there are several possible values of n. We want to find all of them and then we want to add all of them. We are not solving for one n, we want to find all possible values of n. You divide by n, you get a remainder of 2. We know that n into q is 24. A multiple of n is 24, or n is a factor of 24. Life is simple. N is a factor of 24. Now we know how to approach this question. So I'm going to write down factors of 24. 24 can be written as 1 into 24. 1 and 24 are factors. Can be written as 2 into 12. 2 and 12 are factors. Can be written as 3 into 8. 3 and 8 are factors. Can be written as 4 into 6. 4 and 6 are factors. After that, we'll come back to 6 into 4, 8 into 3. These are all factors. Or n could take any of these values. If n is 1, q is 24. If n is 2, q is 12. If n is 3, q is 8. If n is 12, q is 2. So any of these values n can take. But could n take all of these values? Think about it. If n were 1, I divide 26 by 1, I won't get a remainder of 2. 1 is a factor of any number. So I get a remainder of 2. That means my divisor n should be strictly greater than 2. I divide by 2, I can get only 0 and 1 as reminders. I divide by 3, I can get only 0, 1, 2 as reminders. Whatever the remainder is, my number n should be greater than that. Or n can be any of these, but it cannot be this, it cannot be this. It cannot be 1 or 2. You divide by n and you get a remainder of 2. That means n is more than 2. That means n can take 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 24, but not 1 and 2. First step is to identify that n is a factor of 24. Then think about factors of 24 and then say, in this list of factors of 24, I'm not going to count 1 and 2. Right? Now how do we add this? 12 plus 8 is 20. 20 plus 24, 44, 50, 54, 57. Adding all of this, we get 57. Or sum of all possible values of n is 57. If any of you has got the answer as 60, then that means you have counted 1 and 2. Then you should be wary of that. You should say, look, I shouldn't be counting 1 and 2. I'm getting the remainder as 2. So my divisor has to be more than 2. Keep that in mind. Right? Lovely. Wonderful. Let's jump and do the next one.